Right.
Hello, wrestling fans. This is DJ Magic J with Hip Hop Original Scan Dues and Honorary Sai, who is coming in a moment. We have a special guest on our platform, the Mega Powers TV platform. This lady is a podcast host, radio personality. She calls herself the reclaimed voice of the girlies. Big up to all the Ghanaians because we know we had Ghanaian independence. You get me? I hope you had your Kenke, your Wache, and your Banku and all them stuff there. Big up to all my Ghanaian brothers and sisters. I should be wearing my brother's tracksuit top actually, who's Ghanaian, E Darko. But we got the lovely lady, So Nicky.
Two mega powers meeting here tonight.
The mega powers, brother.
The mega, yeah, the mega, yeah, the mega powers, yeah. Mega powers, yeah.
Inside the building, what's scared?
That intro was jokes.
But before we start Scan Deuce, what do we do on every episode when we introduce our guest?
Nikki, would you join us in the Mega Power handshake? We're gonna go right through the screen with it.
What's the
Handshake.
What, just this? Just that?
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The nails are looking lush.
Thank you. Good try.
I need to get mine done. I need to get mine done.
Yeah. I'm not even showing mine.
Don't throw your feet over.
Oh dear. Yes, Nick. So it's a pleasure having you on the platform.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me to come.
Obviously, we know you're a big wrestling fan. Obviously, I've met you on the Kick Out podcast as well. And
Yeah.
and the first question we always ask, Nikki, is how did you find your way into wrestling? Where did it start for you?
I was probably about, I think on Kick Out, I think I said I was 9, but I'm sure it started a lot earlier. Probably about 7.
Mm.
And it was my cousin Eric. I will drop his name everywhere when it comes to wrestling, even though he leads a very quiet life. But it was my cousin Eric. Back in the day when people started getting Sky TV for the first time, like they had got Sky before our household got Sky. And then one day they came over and then he put it on wrestling. And I was just like, what is this? Like people are fighting. And from that day, I don't know what the turnaround was. I was hooked ever since. And
Amazing.
here I am.
So did you have like a favorite wrestler at the time or a favorite match that you saw?
At the time, favorite wrestler, it was mostly the women. I really liked Tori Wilson when I was younger. I don't know why. I was just always drawn to her. I thought she was just so pretty. She was just the it girl. So I really liked her. Trish Stratus, of course. Lita, of course. Um, Men wise, oh, of course, Stone Cold. I did like The Rock, but even from a young age, I always saw The Rock as a personality. Even from a young age, Triple H. I like the American Badass Undertaker. Yeah, so those were like my favorites. Like, it's hard for me to just stick with one, but those were my favorites. A favorite match. I
Mm.
remember. I'm sure it. I say I remember. Stone Cold and Triple H, Hell in a Cell at Insurrection. They don't do that pay-per-view anymore. I don't know when they stopped. I think it was the mid 2000s when they stopped doing Insurrection, but I remember because I found my mum's Skyping to watch it on Skybox Office, did
Don't
the
wait.
pay-per-view, and I got whooped the following week when that bill came. But it was worth sneaking out of my bedroom for it.
Wicked. Wow. So did you ever have like was it like your passion for wrestling? Was it kind of like a secret or was you quite open with it like over the years or
Let me tell you, it was a secret-ish. Yeah. So I used to like tell my friends that, listen, I'm busy, I'm watching wrestling. And like there's one of my friends in particular, if he sees this online, he knows I'm talking about him. Every time me and he would speak, he'll be like, don't tell me you're watching that rubbish, because you could just hear Michael Cole's voice in the background going like, oh, it's off the top rope, like something crazy like that. And he would know. So it was kind of a secret-ish. in my adulthood now, I can't lie to you, is when everything is now more on the internet where I'm just like, oh, F it, I don't care. I like wrestling. So now I openly repost like WWE posts on my stories. I never used to do it before. I think I started doing it like the past year or two.
Okay. So what was
So,
it
so
that made you be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be open with it now and I don't care who knows.
Because who's coming to beat me? Like who's going to beat me because I like wrestling? And also just think of like in this, like we live in a world where we really do make our own entertainment. Of course, like we're entertained by things like WWE and other wrestling like TNA and stuff that is on TV, but we do make our own entertainment. But then you see the kind of entertainment that people are making. Not everything is so positive. So am I really gonna be doing something negative by liking wrestling outwardly? I know it's normal. It's been on TV for years and we love it.
Right. So has it always been WWE to you, or has there ever been other companies that you enjoy?
Of course, there was
WCW?
ECW. There was
Okay.
Oh,
ECW when we were when I was a lot younger. But the thing is, WWE was always the main. It was always the staple because they had the better shows. They had the better production. Yeah, even then I could even tell a lot about production value, which was weird because I was very young at that time. But then yeah, that was always it for me. So I did attempt to watch TNA. I liked it a little bit, but then to be honest, like WWE was always my routine. I knew when it was on, what channel it was on, but TNA it was just whenever I could catch it. And of course WCW as well, it was the same.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple of the women wrestlers earlier on, like you enjoyed did you say Tori Wilson or
Love Tori,
Terry?
yeah.
Yeah, Tori Wilson. Yeah. I mean, over the years, you've seen the women's evolution now. Was it a
Yeah.
case that you didn't like how it was back in it? Because when you look back now, it was a bit exploitative, isn't it? How they treated women.
Yeah. Yeah, like especially watching the Vince McMahon documentary as well. Like you hear, I wish we could have heard a lot more around that, but of course it wasn't about that. But then comparing it now, again, now being an adult, whereas back then I was a child when those women were on TV. But then yeah, it was yeah, exploitation could be a word, but hey, I guess we weren't in a PG era, I would
Mm.
say. So that's why I think some people would use that word. But then also, I just feel like it's like we've come a long way because, like, even stepping out of the PG era, I feel like that's what people just saw women as good for, especially when it came to sports entertainment. They didn't really look at women as they could compete and go the long haul with it. But then now that's all it is. Women are the competitors. So you don't see like a lot of like the ballets anymore. Like, what was that girl that used to come out with Fandango? Summer
Oh,
something.
Summer Rae.
That's it. Like you see before, they would just have characters like her, even though that's the PG era then. That's all there was. Like, even when she was wrestling, I don't think a lot of people took her seriously because you come out dancing and that's all you were. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when do you think it changed for you? When do you think people started to take the wrestling really seriously with the women?
I think when they birthed NXT. So I around that time, I think when NXT came, that's when the changes were really coming in because back in the day it was tough enough. If you wanted to see a wrestler, whether it was a man or a woman, it was tough enough. Then you see them in development. But even then, especially on this part of the world where it wouldn't come on TV so regularly, like you weren't really bothered, were you? Like you didn't really care. And I remember like back in the day when they used to do like the diva searches and stuff. Again, we didn't really care for the actual search. We cared for when they actually came onto the main roster. But then now we're like with NXT, think of all the like talent that have come from NXT and especially the women. I think there's been a lot more great women who have come from NXT as opposed to the men.
Mm.
Like, of course, we've had the men as well, but the women absolutely outshine. So you had Becky Lynch, you had Sasha Banks, you had Bianca Belair. These are all the new school of NXT. And look at, they are the household names now. They are really driving that main roster now. So I think that's really great to see.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned, I guess as an old school, your old school favorite was Tori Wilson. So we're
Uh-huh.
talking about the new school now. Who would you say is like your new school favorite female wrestler and why?
Oh, I'm biased. It's Bianca Belair. I'm so biased. Like, so even with the Elimination Chamber coming up, I was really trying to figure out in my mind, like, how is she going to win? Because I need her to win. Like, I just need her to win it. There was nothing. I just need her to do it. I'm so biased because she's just like, she's so different. She has the full package of a WWE superstar. She's got the catchy theme tune. She's got that her in-ring presence is crazy, and she's just an amazing athlete all round. She really has that. I mean, I think we'll get into this. She might need to work on the in-ring stuff a little bit because that telenovela that I watched the
So
other
her
day,
acting skills, her acting skills.
that telenovela, okay. But yeah, we'll get into it.
But the Oscar
Wow.
does go. The Oscar does go to Bianca Belair though, man, because that was
Ah,
hilarious. That was hilarious as fuck. But the crocodile tears was so stupid, man. Like I was like, what's with the crocodile tears?
no,
I don't see nothing.
I was like, if you lot don't stop this right now, I will turn this off. Like I can see where it's going. I will turn this off. That's how I felt.
I think they need Vince McMahon to come back and tell them, yo, you need to go to acting school now because that was good, but it wasn't great. Because I want to see tears. All I was seeing is a
Well,
moment.
well, well, Naomi gave us tears. She switched it on.
She squeezed out that tear. She squashed it
No,
out. She knows it hurts.
yeah, she went with Rikishi on us, man. Like when Rikishi turned heel, bro, I was like, raw. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, is this a
yeah.
bloodline shit?
It's true. Technically, she is part of the bloodline. If you want
Yeah.
to go technical, she is
And technically Rikishi is her dad.
technically so.
We got
So
So
the honorary sign inside the building. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? Sorry, I'm late, man. Fashionably, just popped out like the Firefly
Don't,
Funhouse, man.
don't worry, man. You just some black people timing. That's all.
Hey, Punjabis are similar, man. Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Glad to be here. Wouldn't want to
uh,
be anywhere else, but right in this bitch. What are you lot talking about?
yeah. So basically we're talking about the telenovela that we saw on Friday. Um, but I think what we should do, because really and truly that's kind of like the main dish. I think we should get to the beginning. So like last year Mania, we had the three women together looking like Destiny's Child. It was perfect. Like the outfits were popping, the hair were
Mhm.
popping, like
They didn't do the
like young
cowboy thing.
girls around young black girls around the world was like looking at them like this is our heroes. And then it kind of went wrong, Nikki. You see the
I
signs from then?
So for me, I still stand by this, and I said this on Kickout. They should have never have made Bianca and Jade a tag team in the first place, and they shouldn't have then go on and they like with this whole storyline of Jade got attacked, she can't wrestle, so let's make her and the other black girl a tag team. Like none of those three women, Jade, Naomi, or Bianca, need to be in a tag team. They stand on their own amazingly. Like even though Jade is the
I
new,
take my glasses and hats off to that.
yeah,
I've been
like
saying the
even though
jump.
she's technically the newbie, she's a very experienced wrestler. Like she already has the presence. Just look at like just aesthetically, even she has that presence. So they never needed to be a tag team. So you see, with this whole storyline, I can't like almost went left. I almost saw it being like, oh, do you know what I thought? And I don't
Mm.
think I can say it on kick out. I thought it was the return of Becky Lynch. That's that's what I thought. But then that would have been too much of a random attack. But then that's what a return is, right? It can be random, it can be striking, it can surprise us. But then all of that didn't need to happen. So it needed to fall apart at one point. Like
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm glad that it was now because it sets up a great, great open space for a match at WrestleMania.
Mm,
On
right.
all honesty, I was saying that from the jump from our early videos, um, that if Jade comes and when Jade does come, she should just go on her own
Mhm.
and just dominate. You know, even if she started in NXT, for example, and she whooped every female ass, and be champion there, then come over and say, yeah, what? I'm coming for one of the 2 titles over here now in SmackDown or Raw, whoop everyone's ass and do the same thing. But when I saw that tag team, why are you putting her as a tag team? And in AEW, she was dominating, yardie kicking people in the face and doing her move and done in the dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I don't get it. And now here's the story coming into today when, okay, Naomi done what she done. You know, Jade is back. Jade, you know, I
You did
don't know
it for
what they're
Bianca.
gonna put Jade and Bianca together, but I don't think they should. She should just stay. You know what? Fuck the world. Don't ask me for shit. I'm gonna fuck up everyone right now, and I'm gonna be who I am. Done. You get what I'm saying? And take one of the belts.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
I'll tell you why. I always disagree with you, innit? My bad. But nah, Jade weren't ready, man. As much as everyone wanted Jade to be ready from NXT and developmental and the performance center, she wasn't ready to hang at the same caliber. Whatever they were taping, however they run and structure a match with WWE, she was a bit green. So jumping with Bianca, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with what you said, which was what I said last week. If you close your eyes, they're the same exact character. There was nothing significant or independent about their personalities. And when you, not to throw you under the bus, Magic, but when you started criticizing Naomi, I was saying this isn't her fault. Like I said, this is poor storytelling. She's been lost in the shuffle. She took so many pins that she just sort of like fizzled out. Like this storyline actually, like I said last week, rejuvenated Naomi and Bianca and Jade and gave them some sort of character, even though I think some of the catalyst for that was it may have never unfolded the way it did in Elimination Chamber. It was done perfectly. But if it was just a random, it was me, Austin, all along, then it wouldn't have been a payoff. It would have been like they did the who done it quite well, and we had to be patient for it because there was a lot of weeks we were like, all right, who the fuck is it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think Jade needed to tag team with someone to get her to a certain level so then she can break free to a more independent on a WWE space. But I don't agree with the direction and the character development they did. And it's the same thing like what they do with luchas. They just put them all together and like there's no reasoning behind it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree and disagree in some ways.
Right. So Nikki, was you gripped? Was you gripped? That's because you called it a telenovela, but we are gripped to telenovelas. We like our episodes, we like our EastEnders. Was we gripped to this heel change?
no. it was good. Like when when Naomi said, right, yeah, I did it. I felt it coming, but it still did have that underlying element of surprise. I was still like, oh, so it was really you know?
Even before that, you ungrateful bitch.
I, but it was really giving telenovela because, like, even Bianca, when she was coming, like, she didn't even do her hot skip with her braid. And I was like, oh, she's trying to be serious. I was like, oh, okay, so this is where we're going. And then when Naomi came out, and like, she was really dancing around it. She was basically like, did you do it? She was like, you know what? She didn't have to do all of that. Like, she was trying to cover for your back. And I was like, look at it. Just fucking say you did it. Yeah, come on, just say you did it. But the way she said it, I was like, oh, so you really did.
Ooh.
And then, for Jade to then show up and then Bianca giving her the nod, like, listen, see what you got to do. I was like, oh yeah, that's it, they're over. But then this is what I was looking for. The last couple of weeks, this is what I was looking for that tag team to break up. And this is how it broke up. Because on Kick Out, we said, well, I didn't say, they did. Right, they did. They said that Bianca would turn heel because she's the one that did it. But
I did too. I thought it was Bianca.
But do you think there could be a further twist? Do you think there could be a further twist to this? Could it still be Bianca?
Do you know what? Because Bianca seems very mad at, Jade seems very mad at Bianca. Have you not seen their Instagram post? Because Bianca posted something saying, you're that bitch when you cause all this conversation. That's a Beyonce quote. And then Jade then posted something on Instagram and went, well, I've been that bitch. And I was like,
triple threat, man. What about a triple threat?
I'm like, guys, what's happening? But then here's the thing: Bianca now has a title opportunity at WrestleMania against Io Sky, right? And I agreed with Ace when we talked about it on the other show. He said that Io Sky is just temporarily holding that belt. But then I'm thinking it might look like a triple threat.
Yeah.
But then I haven't really placed Rhea Ripley in this. I kind of just forgot about her because with her, I think Mummy needs to take a break. Like, take a break. I think this is where Rhea can go on holiday for a couple weeks. I don't think she's needed in this equation. So I'm thinking that's where the twist would be, or it's gonna be Jade versus Naomi at WrestleMania, but then that's just giving WrestleMania an extra match. I don't know if we'll have so much heat from that type of match. That's where I think it's
But
going.
you know what? In all honesty, even with this situation, um, it, to me, I was saying it to the guys that look, Naomi, I don't know, he's got the tag belts, yeah. Naomi is just the team holder of the belt, right? And she's gonna make them lose the belt. And what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like everything went doo, 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 down the drain. So I saw it, but I said, no, no, no. How can you just give her the belt like that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No. Okay, this ain't the bloodline business. You get me? When we just swapping belts out. You get what I'm saying? You're my enforcer. Give him the belt. No. But I knew that she's going to flop. I knew it. So from there, I saw something like, and even certain things that she was doing, I was like, I was preying her facial expressions when Jade was around, and it's like, she don't look happy that Jade is there. She's like, okay, I'm the old cat, but at least respect the team that the youngers are coming up.
Mm.
But
But
then
do you
I wonder how Naomi feels because it's like Naomi's been there for a long time.
mm,
She, even though she has won the women's title a few times now, what she's had it what 3 times now, I think.
Something like that,
Actually,
yeah.
I think it's been more than that, maybe. But then it's like she's missing like the sort of like the superstardom of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't know if you guys agree.
I think you're right. I think this I think this is one like propeller for a big character change where we've got some character to Naomi.
Mm.
I think towards the end of that promo is when it really like got lifted for me, when it sort of went from emotional to delusional. Like,
Mm.
you're ungrateful. Every time I start speaking out about myself, you lot turn on me. I love that, but I think that's what's gonna take her to another level. And I also agree with Ria. I think if we're honest with ourselves, though we love Mami, um,
Mm.
there hasn't been much character change from her in the last year or so at all.
Right.
In fact, I haven't actually seen the promo, but I've had positive feedback from when she lost the title. That's the most character we've seen in years. I do think she'll be added to the triple threat. I do think it'll be Io, Bianca, and Mami in some way. I'm not actually sure who's going to win, but I don't know if Mami needs to take a break because she was injured, so she was
Yeah.
away for quite some time, and that
mm.
didn't do. It's just she came back, and there was something interesting with Damien Priest. I was nearly said Damien Marley. I don't know why. Damien Priest, and then it just fizzled out, and then Priest lost a lot of his weight as well. So they both kind of suffered from that split, and we
Mm.
just need a bit. I think Rhea losing the title was actually a good thing
Yeah.
without
And I think a bit of a spoiler for Mania, like Bianca's the only wrestler at the moment that has a WrestleMania streak. So if you think about that, I think she's like 4-0 or 5-0 at the moment at Mania. So I don't think they're gonna just waste that. I think so. It looks like whatever happens, she's gonna come out with the belt, man. So it's definitely, as a Bianca fan, that's a good look for you, right,
Yeah,
Nikki?
100%.
Yeah, and I just want to touch on something real quick. This is something that I brought up in the last podcast. Do you remember from Elimination Chamber when she whipped my girl with her hair?
And whew.
Yeah, and the sound effect. Is that sound effect genuine? And do you think a piece of hair can brock up someone like that?
Do you know what? Me, Ace, and Ryan discussed this. Yeah, Ryan thinks that there was a time delay and they added that sound in.
Oh shit.
I think that's a bit too adventurous for WWE. They're capable of anything, but a little too adventurous. And I said yes. I think it was genuine because here's the thing, yeah, not to go too dark, right? As you know, an African child being whooped by several things when I was naughty as a child, anything can make noise. So and remember, Bianca's hair is probably like how many different packets of hair she needs to make that really long braid. So it's probably quite heavy, that braid. So that can definitely walk. And Liv had the mark on her the next day as well.
Yeah.
And they were all touching it. It didn't come off. It's
Mhm.
not fake, it's real. It's real.
But are you saying that's from hair alone that has scarred up her body like that? Because I know a lot of people got hit with a lot of things. I'm sure we can all test to that. You know, a slipper, curtain wire, everything. Yeah, but a piece of hair, like someone with locks, just beating someone with a lock, can it
So,
do that?
like that, oh yeah.
Well, think
Yeah.
about it, as I said before, it's just like Booker T having long locks, or you having your locks, and you extended your locks
Mhm.
with extension locks, and you just
Yeah,
whooping my ass with it, and I
Yeah,
obviously
it's not her fault. Booker T didn't do it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
He
But then,
didn't.
but then saying that, Nick, saying that, does that mean that her hair is a foreign object, and could she get disqualified for that?
Ooh,
No, man. I know you asked. Go on,
Oh,
Nikki. Sorry.
oh.
she has to back her sister now. Come on, let's hear it.
I don't think so, man.
All she said was, "Don't touch my hair." Okay, she said it. She said, "Don't touch my hair." So Liv was kind of asking for it. Is listen, if you provoke somebody and they whoop you, that's your business. That's all I'm gonna say. She told her not to touch her hair, so she used the hair.
Right.
Don't
That's
touch a
great.
woman's
That's the best
hair.
answer. That is the best answer. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
So it's not a weapon.
No,
Mm-mm.
they use it against her. How many times
Yes.
they've used the hair to pull her against the
Yeah, how
post?
many times did they pull it and they tie it in between the ropes and whatnot?
Yeah, come on, man.
Who begged you? You know, nobody said touch my hair. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
That's a
Yeah,
positive message for everyone out there. Less people are less likely to touch people's hair because of
Do
this
not
girl.
hair.
She's doing
Listen,
it.
I might only have 3.5 inches of hair right now, but when my hair was longer, I'll be like, do not touch my hair. Even my little pixie now, do not touch it. I can't whip it, but don't touch it.
Wow, that's
Black sister
amazing.
thing.
That's amazing. So what do you think the future holds for this storyline? I mean, now that Jade's back, she's not really officially said anything yet. Where do you think it should go next?
Do you know what? What I would really like is to see like and to hear some dialogue between her and Bianca, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Jade is gonna stay mad at Bianca for whatever reason, even though Naomi was the person that did it to her. For some reason, she's mad at Bianca, and I can see it. I would like to see them like sort of like work it out, but not be a tag team. They do not need to be a tag team. And if Naomi is gonna have a heel run, I think she should take it and run with it because Naomi's been on TV for 10 years. I want to see her have that superstardom. Like, even though she's got this feel the glow thing, I want to see more of her t-shirts. Like
Mm,
Bianca Belair's been there less time than you know, like the little kids come out with their fake ponytails. Like, I want to see Naomi reach her level of superstardom because I think she deserves it. She's
And,
worked
and,
hard
and see, you said that. Yeah, I was saying it to the guys last week. Yeah, when Naomi came back, she should have came back with a new image, not the same image that she had beforehand.
enough.
I'd say it's just like The Rock. When The Rock came back, he came back with a brand new music, slapping his wrists, to count for the bloodline and stuff like that. So end of the day, it's like she should have came with a brand new image, but they just ran with the same old Naomi the glow from when she basically after she created that scene, because when she came in, she was just basic. She was just basic outfit and whatnot. Then she created that after. But when she went to where did she go to? Is it Ring of
TNA.
Honor or TNA? Yeah, TNA.
Mm.
And she changed up her style. She should have came back more vicious and more. So hopefully now this this
new
this
character.
this new character within her, how she's turned heel, she could probably go more dark.
I'll tell you what, though. Yeah. No, I'm gonna say it. How many, like, even though I'm extremely grateful that we've got women in well, actually, only up until quite recently, women on the WWE stage where we're invested in a storyline where there's no title on the line. A title doesn't need to be aligned for the women to have good storytelling, right? They're doing nothing really with the Intercontinental Championship specifically, and okay, the United States title looks like it's about to get slightly entertaining, but nowhere to the level it deserved, really, when it was the inaugural title. This would have been great if somehow the Intercontinental Championship was involved. I know Bianca's going to WrestleMania, and true say I want her in the title picture against Rhea Ripley because they haven't really gone one-on-one yet, and even in a triple threat, that's interesting to see. But I would like this to somewhat form on into the Intercontinental Championship attention or the US title somehow, some way. Jade or Naomi go into that sort of picture.
Right. Okay. So let's get back to the WWE. So obviously on your podcast that you also run, you talk about, I guess, other things outside of wrestling, gossip, fashion, and that. So those are your other interests. So when it comes to women wrestlers, right? Would you say they've got their style on point that you're feeling right now, and who's been consistent with it?
Consistency, Charlotte Flair.
Really?
Consistent. Yeah, consistent because she's just like her dad. They do drip at its finest, and I'm not mad at it. They like the more like showy things. So I say consistently, definitely Charlotte Flair. Do you know what? I think it's easier for me to say whose fashions I do not like. Okay, tell you who I don't like. Flipping Chelsea Green, her and her tutu every week. I'm so tired of the damn tutu and the hat. I'm
Chelsea Green.
Oh my god, I'm so over
She's the
her.
president.
And then her sidekick, Miss Piper, and her skirt, like it's like they've made her style so extreme to me. I'm like, why do you have to put these shoulder pads and a kilt on this poor woman? She can actually wear other things. You put her in shoulder pads and a kilt. Who actually does it well also? I don't believe I forgot her. Tiffany Stratton, she does it well. Like she's a gorgeous girl anyway. She's beautiful. But then I do like her in-ring gear. Is very much like it don't always give wrestler, and I like it that it doesn't always give wrestler. Yeah.
Right. So let's say, what do you think? What key ingredients do you think it takes for a female wrestler to have good gear?
Good gear. Oh, you really
Is it
have
something they can get wrong very easily, or is there?
yeah. Like you can get. I think it's just like women, like when we're going out and stuff. You just have to make the right choices and not agree to stupid things like this one that wears a shoulder pad and kilt. But you know, like you don't always have to do that because here's the thing: what I like about WWE is that. Well, not even that, just sports entertainment right now. You have women all different shapes, all different sizes. Like you've got Nia Jax that does it very well, but then I feel like those women who are more curvier, the girls with the hips, the girls with the thighs, the girls with the bums, like is they always have to play it safe. They have to play it a bit too safe, but then you can't blame them for their bodies. But what somebody like Tiffany Stratton, is it because she's just petite looking that she can have her cheeks out whenever she wants? Here's the thing: I want them to take a few more risks. Like I understand that they're trying to, and we are in a PG era. I understand that they have to do what they're comfortable in because at the end of the day they're fighting. And women, we can have like so many wardrobe malfunctions in those positions, but it would be nice for them to take risks.
But you
Okay.
know what?
You
Give
think
us
there's
an
censoring
example of a
cheeks out
risk.
here?
Sorry?
Give
You
us an
think there's
example
censoring
of a
cheeks
risk.
out here? Sorry, go back.
Go on, Saya.
He said,
I was like, you think they're censoring cheeks out here?
yeah, I think that a little.
They're picking and choosing the
They're
cheeks.
picking and choosing, yeah, a little.
Aye, man.
No, because what I was gonna say is, yeah, Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. I think they got one of the best outfits in for the women's side, because especially with
Yeah, Jade
Bianca,
comes with it.
she's been making her outfits since day dot. You know what I mean? You
Well,
see there's
I wanted
videos of her on the airplane, her and Jade
Oh, no,
sewing.
I've seen her because I follow her on TikTok, and I wanted to say Bianca, but then I don't want this to look like Bianca has sponsored me because that's what it's looking like. She has, like,
Bianca Belair, if you hear this, sponsor her.
yeah, because I really be pushing Bianca, but then she really goes ham, like how she made like the boots, like the Beyonce, the Coachella boots were absolutely. She literally just stuck tassels. She bought like plain boots and stuck tassels on. Like she really, she challenges herself like every single week. Like other than the only, oh my god, the only time I didn't like her outfit was when it was recently was when her and Naomi did like the Clover's cheerleading outfit. I hated that.
Oh yeah, that was a good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great. But I think the three that we were talking about in the beginning, I think they're the best dressed. Like for me, anyway. I can't actually think of anyone in WWE that puts as much effort, coordinates. I like on the men's side. I kind of like the New Day. I like how creative they are when they come out with different characters but I'm a video game geek, so
Yeah.
But you see this effort and like coordinated. You know what I mean? But
yeah. I like Seth Rollins too. Seth Rollins, his wardrobe is crazy.
He's wild.
But I love it. I'm absolutely loving his wardrobe. What did
no, man. I don't know what you're saying right now.
No, the funny one when he came out with the big red boots.
Yeah, CM Punk called him an oven mitt. He looks like an oven mitt, and I couldn't unsee it. I can't unsee it because he came out wearing a cropped jacket. Like I'm thinking, please don't act like a teenage girl shopping from PLT because that's what they wear, cropped jackets. So, and then CM Punk said he looked like an oven mitt, and when he said, I was just like, oh god, I can't unsee it now. So I had to just skip it ahead because he stood there and had no comeback for it. I don't know if anyone noticed it. I think he was supposed to talk, but then he had no comeback because he was not ready to hear that.
I don't think he's ever defended in any promo how he's dressed. When anyone's cussed him, he shuts the fuck up. He has no idea.
He don't give a shit. He doesn't care. But I was going to ask you something here, right? And this is a random one, right? As we know, women's wrestling is on a high right now, and also like even within the UK, we got a lot of companies and a lot of women wrestlers, and because you're a habit fan of women's wrestling, could we see a Ghanaian women's wrestler come out of yourself or going to Ghana and setting up something
going to Ghana
in Accra or Kumasi or something and setting up Nicky wrestling camp or something? Or you going into the ring? Or you going into the ring?
I don't know. I don't know who would sign me. I don't think anyone would sign me. I can't even.
Train you. He's gone.
I don't think I've even ever been able to do a cartwheel in my life. And if you've ever watched wrestling training, like the first thing that they teach you in the ring is how to drop back. Yeah. I would sit and then fold myself back. Like I would fail. But I don't know. Listen, here's the thing. If Kofi Kingston can do it, why not anybody else? But then, especially somewhere in Africa where gender roles are still a thing where people are battling against, I don't know how that would go. But listen, it's always great to try something new. I think it's always great to step out of your comfort zone. So I think if any women want to try that, and like, especially even from the UK, like how many women from the UK have actually gone on to be successful in this field? We've had Paige, especially black as well. Like Paige, I'm sure that there was something I came across on Netflix the other day. There's a movie about Paige.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
my family.
Yeah, because I remember when I was watching Total Divas, how many years ago now, she said that she was going to have this movie about her life, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Look at you jumping the gun! You've been in front of the camera 5 minutes, and you're talking about a movie." But then it's there, so it can happen, And she's had a great run. So why not? Why not? It could happen.
Yeah.
There's also Queen gone.
So there's a film called Queen of the Ring. You're going to mention the new film that's come out? Is that a film that you're interested in checking out, or have you heard about it?
No. Where's that on?
So Queen of the Ring has just been released in America, I believe even 2 days ago, I think. So it's a women's wrestling film. I think Naomi's in it actually. She was on the red carpet with her neck brace last week.
Taking the funk as
She,
you.
Tony Storm's
Spot.
in it as well. It's
Yeah.
about, I think it's about women in, I don't know, I can't remember
It's
the
about
era.
basically the first woman who got into wrestling back in the I think after the Second World War or
I think
something.
Mildred Burke or something like that.
Yeah, and basically all the men and people was like rejecting her, saying, "No, no, no." Basically, you can't do it, you can't do this, you can't do that, and she broke down the barriers for women to be wrestlers, basically, and then
I just found it, and somebody actually plays May Young in it.
Yeah.
yep,
That's
Do you
sick. I'm
think,
definitely gonna watch this.
quick question, yeah, because I know that era was like heavy. Was Fabulous Moolah heavily involved in that era? Like on that movie, they just cut her out of the story.
They've
Rightfully
cut
so,
her out,
by the way.
man. She's
should have
very
been.
lived a very scandalous life, that woman. If you ever
Yeah,
Google what she's done, yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
they're cutting her out of everything. There was
Well,
a Fabulous Muller battle royal at one point, and they had to
yeah,
cut it
and
because of
Snickers
the
made them
backlash.
cancel it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
understand all of that, like Snickers making them cancel it at WrestleMania, and rightfully so, and all of that. But that was just my question. Was she actually in the era? They just cut her out.
Yeah, I
Was
think
she actually
they
part of
cut.
the
Yeah,
story?
It wasn't that era.
if Mae Young was there, then they've cut her out. They've cut her
Yeah.
Yeah,
out.
she was in that era because Gavin they done the the WWE what's that thing what they do, the story thing what they do, when they told what's it called? They told stories about what happened to certain wrestlers and so forth, yeah. Like they done something on her on that episode. I'll pull it up here in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
edit,
yeah. I know
right?
what you're talking about.
And
It's
yeah,
Dark Side of the Ring. They've
Dark
done.
Side of the there you go,
Yeah,
Dark Side of the Ring. And they done. I swear that I remember them doing something about her, and the way they was talking about her, the way other people was talking about her, is that she was a vicious. She you see how Jade says I'm that bitch.
mm.
Yeah,
She was that bitch
She
with
was.
a
she was,
She was
capital
really
she
B.
was
bad.
involved in all kind
Really
of
bad.
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah. She was a Ginnels. She was
Yeah.
a
She
real.
was a gatekeeper. So Nick, obviously being a big fan of wrestling, have you ever had an opportunity to see it live yet?
I kid you not, yeah. Just before we came onto this call, I was looking on my phone on how to secure tickets. I've never been live, and it's something I must do. Like, if I could go today, I would be there right now. Like, it's something I have to do. But then I really, really, really listen. Before my time is up on this earth, I must go to a WrestleMania. I must. It's like I really want to go to the Super Bowl one day, but I think WrestleMania is a bit more realistic than the Super Bowl. But then I have to go. Like I would love to just be there. Like when I'm sitting in my living room, especially when they're doing like a Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, whatever. Oh my god, the goosebumps like that I would get, and I'm like, no, I have to one day. But then I don't really have like if I haven't met like you like when I did kick out, or obviously I knew Ace already, like me and Ryan and that. I don't have anybody to talk about wrestling with. And it was only until like a week ago where my brother-in-law I found out was so into wrestling. And me and him, it was like we were acting like we were long lost strangers, like just catching up.
Yeah.
And my sister was so over it. She was like, all right, guys, stop. But yeah, like I don't really have anyone to talk to about wrestling. Like my friends, my girls are not into it at all. They don't know what I'm talking about. Like
So now that WWE's on Netflix and literally some of the biggest actors on the planet are former wrestlers. Like you got The Rock, you got John Cena. I guess more and more people are starting to really, it's becoming like the in thing right now. Like so many, like every show they do now, every Raw, you got so many celebrities. Like Drake was at Elimination Chamber now, and then after that, Drake says he's now into WWE. So it's
Man, shut
yo,
up, bro. Sorry.
like the audience is getting bigger. So I'm guessing one of you girls is
You've
gonna
exploited
surprise
enough
you.
culture, bro. Get away from wrestling. Fuck off, bro. Sorry. Continue.
Leave it to Ice Cube's son. And done.
So
Shay, yeah, because he was at a few when it premiered on Netflix. I think he went to every show.
mm,
I think he went to every single one of them, like during that week of the premiere. But I just want to say this: the streamers, the YouTubers, the Travis Scotts, yeah, need to leave wrestling alone. Like I saw today that Travis Scott has now dropped WWE merch, and that absolutely, oh my god, I was so irritated. I said he's really taking it far. Like you came and bust Cody's eardrum, and you didn't even know what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
You had no idea what you were doing. Like when I saw Travis, like you have no place. Like someone, okay, Triple H, please, if you hear this, you need to let the public know what is actually, they don't even call him Triple H backstage, they call him Paul Levesque. Please let the people know why you need the Kai Cenats. I'm not even going to go into Logan Paul because he's in too deep. They're not going to listen to me because I'm not really a Logan Paul fan of him being on WWE. But please, the celebrities, they don't need them. They don't need them. WWE superstars are celebrities.
I don't know, Nikki. I think they look. I don't fucking like seeing them on my TV either. But I do understand. Like if you're working behind the scene and you look at the marketing, you look at the eyes on the screen, it does work. Like it or not, unfortunately, it works.
Okay, do you know what? Let me go back on it a little bit. When Sexy Red was randomly at SmackDown, I loved it. I'm sorry,
I turned off my TV.
I'm not gonna lie, I was locked in as well.
Oh no, I turned off my TV when she came on. I don't like it.
And then imagine in like the middle, I can't remember what city they were in yet, but just imagine to WWE fans and you're like, get it sexy. What?
And you're twerking on Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that one with Shawn Michaels, that was classic.
that was funny. But the rest, I think they need to chill. But it's good to see WWE create superstars. But do they always need that? No, they don't always need it.
No, it is. It's been happening since WrestleMania 1 when they had all these celebrities, from that era, from the 70s, 80s or 60s, 70s, 80s coming in, so at the end of the day, no matter what, it brings a whole new different audience. So with the Kai Cenats, with being, Kai Cenat is how old? 24. With the what's his name again? ISO Speed. He's around that same age, like 19, 20, you know what I mean? Right? So they're bringing their audience to wrestling, and with even ISO Speed, getting fucking gored and all that shit, clothesline, and he's getting beat up. His fans would tap onto that and watch it. So that's giving them numbers, and then
very smart. It's very smart. And if you see that they've got an advert with Bianca Belair and Cardi B, where they're on the phone to each other. So we could see Cardi B at WrestleMania. They had Lil Wayne there last year. They know what they're doing.
Sorry.
He came out saying it. I was going to ask you something, Nikki. You see how you say that you wanted to, your dream is to go to a WWE live show. Gavin, I know there's some coming in the UK and there's some coming in France and Germany and so forth. Can we see you possibly reaching New Orleans next year for, Mania 42?
Who, me? Oh,
yes, you.
If I can go, I can go. I just need to learn how to secure the tickets over there. And because sometimes they're not always as accessible here. Even though the internet is big, we know it's not always as accessible. Because trust me, I think many years ago I tried and I just didn't even know what I was doing. But oh my God. And I've always wanted to visit New Orleans as well. I always wanted to go do Essence Festival there. So yeah, why not? Like I've started telling myself I'm in this era of doing things like just not saying them. I actually want to do it. Like, yeah. So I've done a few things this year already. Like I just came back from my first solo trip last week, and I'm like, right, if I could do that, I could do anything else.
I know how you feel. I was in Jamaica in July, gone by myself, went by myself. I said, F it, I'm gone. So I know how you feel.
Yeah, like you've got to do it. So, oh my God, I will definitely. I'm still trying to secure tickets for the end of this month. I've got the tabs open in my phone. I don't like the prices, by the way. I don't like the I don't like the prices.
Yeah, no,
I'm saying it with a smile just in case if they see this. Like, guys, I don't like the prices.
well, we'll announce it in front of you, in front of everybody, and say we've just done the highest gate that we've ever seen in this building. So thank you for paying extortionate prices. So they don't give a shit, unfortunately.
Without giving us a free drink.
I'll tell you what, though, when I went WrestleMania 33, I was just lucky I had family in Florida. I stayed there. So, because the tickets were extortionate. And when I went to SummerSlam 10 years ago, even though they were secondhand and extortionate, they were the same base price that they are now. So, like, what did Raw cost me? Secondhand in Brooklyn. I forgot Barclays Center in Brooklyn. I think that one ticket for SmackDown and Raw cost me 70 each, $70, $80 each. Now they start at $70, $80 each, or $100 or $120 each.
Oh,
so it's like, but yeah, it's mad. It is mad. I think I was lucky for the Raw and SmackDown here. Like, I had my friend who I think works for wrestling in some ways, but he had people who they do this thing where they're in front of the ticket line straight away. Like me and Scandus were talking about earlier, we must have just discussed it here. They just got people on their desk buying the tickets. So buying the ticket, the original price for Raw and SmackDown, I think this year was 150 to 180 pound.
Yeah. But you know what? That's like everything these days, man. You try and get tickets to go and see, I don't know, Beyonce or Kendrick Lamar.
Oasis.
Don't even talk about Beyonce because that's like a good £300 now. Like, to be honest, going to concerts is not cheap, and that's like my favorite thing to do. If I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna spend money on something, I like the experience. I will go to a concert, like I'll do a show. But yeah, right now the tab is open. I'm seeing £250.
What
But
for?
the thing is, if I can pay close to that for Beyonce, why not WWE? I'm not saying I'm gonna do it. Guys, I'm just saying, guys, it's expensive. I hope you guys hear this.
You will be seeing a heel Cena for the first time.
Once is out here.
Tag Triple H in this when you're done because we need to have a word. Yeah, we need to have a word.
We need to get in that press box.
He wants that money,
complimentary
bro.
ticket.
I mean, I would love to do press. So yeah, let's make something happen. We've got 2.5 weeks, guys.
Yeah, let's speak it into existence, man. That's definitely something that we need to do. You know, it's definitely exciting times. Obviously, the most exciting time of the year, WrestleMania. So what was your thoughts on the John Cena heel turn? Did you watch it live or did you see it the next day? Was you shocked? Was you what? How did you feel?
So I couldn't hold out. I was so tired. Like, literally, when the entrance, I think it was Damian Priest's song, his entrance, I just remember him coming out and my eyes were closed. So it wasn't until I watched it the next morning, like literally when I realized I'd fallen asleep and it was Sunday morning, I was like, oh my God, because I don't have a TV in my bedroom. So I grabbed my laptop and I just went, okay, right, let's start again. And I stupidly opened my phone first and I saw what happened. And I was like, this has to be a joke. So I watched the whole chamber match. And when it got to the end, like when I say the goose, I was screaming from my bed. Like, bear in mind, I hadn't even started my day. I had literally eyes open and a laptop on. And I couldn't believe that I have seen in my lifetime, after what, 20 years, John Cena turn heel. And it was done. The execution of it was amazing because I don't think Wade Barrett, Michael Cole, who else was on announcing? Pat McAfee was on that night as well. I don't think they knew what was going to happen. So I think it shocked everyone and I absolutely loved it. But then for me, it got a little bit too sinister for me because what I didn't like was The Rock rubbing Cody's face with the blood and wiping it on the weight. But that was a little too, yeah. We get you're an actor, even though you're not that great of an actor, but I get the effect, but we've already got the effect. John Cena has just turned heel. But then here's the thing, what I need everyone to understand. Do we not remember, or does John Cena not remember that because of The Rock, people were chanting Fruity Pebbles for like a good 2 years. Like you don't, like you need to remember, like they need to remember these things, and they need to remember that us the fans, we remember these things. So now I'm looking at John Cena like, look at you. Just look at you. You just dropped your pants for another man, basically. Like, just look at you. And of course, Travis Scott. Yeah, let's not.
That
But
hit you, innit? That hurt you, innit? You was like, what the fuck is Travis
I
Scott
was
doing?
just like, but what are you doing here? Like,
He, he was walking around, burning his sage, saying, "Yeah, bun the devil."
have you ever seen someone that you don't like show up at a party and you're like, what are you doing here? That's what
Yeah,
it was like. It was like,
yeah.
it was like, I was like, okay, so what are you doing? You and your big Ashaka trousers. Okay, no.
But you know,
I did point out
sorry.
that it was. I really had to do hard work with my own spirit to ignore that he was in the ring, right? But the thing that was helping me was like, all right, The Rock has brought out a Hollywood centerpiece. He's imposed this figure in front of us to ruin the moment for us. And that might be part of the corporate Rock. And by the way, you could say bye to those free tickets. You just insulted the board of the director and said he can't act, bro.
I said, you okay?
Hey, I'm with you. Can't act. I'm with you, bro. Hopefully the new Martin Scorsese movie is all right. I fuck with The Rock, but God have mercy.
No, because what I was gonna say is, yeah, sorry to cut you, Sai, is that I was rewatching some stuff on because you know WWE's got their WWE Vault channel now, and I was watching a old clip of what's it called, of The Rock and basically John Cena beefing. Like, and The Rock was at I think Boston Harbor at the river, and he had all John Cena's merchandise, and he was just dissing him about his merchandise, saying, "Yeah, you look kind of gay if you wear this. This should be for a gal, and da 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 da." And why you wear, and he's dashing it in the sea. He's dashing it in the sea, and I was thinking, so really on it. Don't you really had a rivalry back then? Like, and this was like what 2005, 6, something like that. They had the real rivalry to come, and then now to come to this stage is like, how did that actually work?
And also, I think the surprising part of this is that John Cena is, other than The Rock, is probably the biggest superstar to come out of WWE. So he doesn't actually need anybody because he kind of looks like a follower. Like I said, he just dropped his knickers like for a whole other man. And I don't know, but I think it was essential for the heel turn. But does he really need to be led by somebody else? That's my question. And I think everyone would agree. Well, I'm hoping everyone would agree that it's a no. So I'm so curious to see what that would look like. But however, I do believe before he leaves, he will turn back face.
Right. So Nicky, let me ask you this question then. If you had the pen, right, and you was John Cena's new stylist, how would you design the John Cena heel look? What would you want him to dress like?
First of all, I will do what I've always wanted to do for the past 20 years. Take him out of stupid pedal pushers. Like, those pedal pushers, oh my God. Okay. I can't.
Oh my God. Okay.
Honestly, but the thing is, John Cena, he's getting old now because you see, he don't fight in Jordan. He don't wrestle in Jordans no more. He wrestles in like something more. I don't know what they are.
Some tennis shoes or whatever.
You know when you have to think about like your balance and like your mobility now. So like your fit has to make sense when it comes to your shoes. That's what I notice he's doing now. But do you know what? I want to see him in some dark colors because you see the blue, the green, the yellow, the reds. Okay.
Well, now it's fuck the kids now, isn't it? So
yes, maybe do some black to match his hair transplant because you know since he had it done, his hair's a lot darker.
No, shave that shit off, balling.
Yeah, he needs to like cut it a little bit. Maybe go back to the almost buzz cut, like when he first came, right? And then I just want to see him in some long black, like you see who used to have them. Christian used to have them. He just used to have the long black. I don't know if you want to call them pants, if you want to call them leggings, and I just what should it say? Because he always had never give up, but I don't know what this one would say is
always give up.
or no, it was just say give up at some point. I don't think that's what it should just say. I would love to see that. yeah, like the darker colors on him. You see those 3/4 length, them pedal pushers, take them away. It don't make no sense. If he comes out in a colourful shirt, oh my god, tonight, yeah, because today's Monday. Tomorrow, when I'm watching it back, if he comes out in a colourful shirt, I promise you I'm turning off the TV.
I don't. Is he booked for tonight?
I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
too.
No.
I
I
don't
don't
think so.
know.
They're gonna be away
But just,
from it. They're
but
gonna
just
come randomly.
on the point you were saying before, right? I completely agree. I don't think it, and I don't think it is. I don't think it's a storyline where the John Cena is the Rock's foot soldier. If he's just a crazy Manchurian candidate controlled by the Rock, and that's the influence of the heel turn, then that does sort of leave us dissatisfied after like 20 years of us. We want his own reasoning, and I think in a lot of ways, if you follow John Cena and what he says in interviews and what he's said out loud in promos, he's always been a heel. He's always been a heel. And if you look at the growing frustration, him politely walking through different arenas and different years over the last 6 of putting people over, hasn't won a match in 3 days. He's been doing with that smile, but slowly over the years, that smile has faded. And he has passively aggressively been commenting on it in interviews. He's been alluding to it for a while, quite wonderfully, actually. But what do you think about something which is much more interesting that's come to the table? So apparently, Cena wasn't supposed to turn heel. The Rock was pushing for Cody to turn heel. He wanted Cody to turn heel. And apparently, when it comes to Tony Khan, Triple H knows that whenever it's The Rock, Nick Khan will always side with The Rock. So apparently they went to Cody. Triple H said, yo, bruv, if they ask you, say you don't want to fucking do it at all. Say that and stick to your guns. And the reason we got the John Cena heel turn is because of that strategy. Now, that's all gossip. That's all shade borough bullshit. I don't know. But what I do think I know is The Rock's original plan was Cody. So again, we have a road to WrestleMania that is way more interesting because we're going against what the fucking Rock wants to do.
WrestleMania 41. I'll wait for it.
I mean, to be honest with you, I thought that Cody was going to turn heel. But for me, I was always getting upset, like literally like real life upset. I'm like, you can't do this now. But then that build up. So you see, I think it was on, it might have been, I can't remember if it was Raw or SmackDown, where CM Punk and Cody did the promo. And CM Punk was basically telling him, listen, if you feel like you is all you got, like we've all had to go through this. And you see from then, it was a great speech from CM Punk.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, I bet Cody's gonna come out and be like, oh fuck this, like I'm gonna do what I want, and that would be the heel turn. I didn't ever like anyway, nobody expected it. I didn't think it would go like this. But when him and his cute little lisp, and he said, hey Rock, go fuck yourself. Oh my God, I was clapping like I was in church. I was clapping like I was in church. But then after the low blow, listen, I promise you I didn't sleep for 3 days. I promise you. I couldn't sleep. I said, what's going on here? And all I could see on my timeline, I said, we need to stop talking about this because I can't deal with this. I don't believe we saw this.
So what do you think about it is about wrestling like in 2025 that can still evoke that level of emotion out of us, like from when we were kids? Like, because a lot of us get quite emotional about it. When you go on Twitter, you see people losing their minds. It's just, what is it about the product that makes people like get that emotionally attached?
Oh, do you know what? I think it's the great writing behind it. And also, you really do have to be a fan. I feel like you need to be a fan from the beginning, whether it was 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago to 5 years ago. You need to give yourself that time to really understand the characters that we see in WWE and their journey. Like, even for the younger fans that are joining now, they've just started there. So, how we feel about the John Cena's, the Stone Colds, the Undertakers, like they don't get it yet because to them, they're the ones that are on the way out. But I think you need to allow yourself time to really get used to the stories, get used to the characters. And I think Triple H has done oh my God, such a fantastic job. I didn't like corporate Triple H. I was thinking, why are you like, oh God, we're never going to get those tickets now, are we? But anyway, I was just like, well, why are you being such a beg? Like, that's your wife's, like, that's their business. But then when you really see what happens behind the screens, the fact that they are actively there every night to make sure that things are being executed properly, and also the level of talent that they're adopting as well, is a huge combination. But I think that's what makes it so good.
That's fantastic.
I,
Wow.
I, I agree with all of that, but the original question is, why do wrestling fans get overly emotional and
Or why
excited?
do they get
Right?
emotional? Well, just to add on to what I said, because all of those things make you invested. It's like watching your favorite soap. It's like watching. I don't watch EastEnders anymore, but then it's like watching EastEnders. It's like watching your favorite soap. You're hoping for the baddies to stay bad, the goods to come and steal the show. You know, like
Yeah,
Under,
no, I
Undertaker
think you
to
answered
rise
the
again.
question.
Yeah, Undertaker to rise again for the 55th time. Like,
Mm.
you want these things to happen, like the story.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
also think it's because wrestling fans also need to get a life. So I think
I get that too.
Listen,
them lot need to go out on a date. They need to do something, bro. But that's
I
listen.
mean, right
hey,
now, if you
I
ask
said
me
it, bro. Come for me. They're angry.
between a
They'll get
date and
angry.
wrestling, I think right now, I would choose wrestling. But yeah,
I get that. I'm with you there.
That's what's up. That's what's
Sometimes
up.
dating is more complicated than putting on Raw, man. I swear down.
I mean,
Wow.
I just have to press 2 buttons and that's it.
Isn't it?
Fantastic. Wow. So Nikki, we definitely want to thank you so much, for joining us. This has been a wild and exciting ride, looking into obviously starting about the telenovela and to where we're at right now, trying to get ourselves some SmackDown tickets, you know. Just to let our audience know, because obviously you do some other podcasts as well and the other stuff that you
So
do.
Nicky podcast,
Yeah.
Laid Bear, which I commented on one of your posts time ago saying, wait, Laid Bear. I remember there was a TV show called that, which
That's the
was an
first.
adult TV show. Yes, I was that kid, I was that naughty little kid watching adult shows.
Wow.
So yeah, tell us about all those stuff.
Okay. So I do Laid Bear podcast. Laid Bear has been on a bit of a break, but we are coming back very sooner than you know. We're coming back sooner than you know. So I'm Oloni's co-host. I've been doing that show. God, it's been like 3 years now. Great show. I have my own show, So Nicky podcast. That again, I've just brought it back recently. So I'm still growing my YouTube page, still growing my Instagram page. And I was doing radio. Haven't done radio in a while. I don't know if I'll be doing radio again going forward, but yeah, we'll see.
Right. And how can
Don't
people
worry.
get in touch with you? What's the socials?
Oh, sure. And also, oh my God, let me not forget to add, I also do Kick Out podcast
Mhm.
with Ace and with Skillet. So if you guys want to know what I'm doing, what I'm up to, So Nicky underscore on Instagram. My show page is So Nicky podcast. And yeah.
Amazing. Wow. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for
Right.
joining us. It's been Scandoose alongside DJ
Magic J
and
and
the
Saya.
Honorable Saya.
Saya. Yeah.
We are the Mega Powers. So until next time, you want to join us for the handshake? Yeah.
Hello, wrestling fans. This is DJ Magic J with
Scandoose, the hip hop original.
and we are the Mega Powers TV.
And what we're giving you is exclusive pro wrestling content. You get interviews, you get podcasts, and a whole bunch of other things.
So just remember, peoples, like, comment, share, subscribe to your friends, your family,
Your enemies.
and your loved ones. So just remember, we are the Mega Powers podcast TV, and we do everything else wrestling. The Mega Powers.
Two mega powers meeting here tonight.
The Mega Powers, brother.